You walk through the front door. Day's done. You're home. But you're not really home yet. And she already knows it.
She can see it in your face, hear it in your one-word answers, feel it in the way you're physically in the room, but somewhere else entirely.
You think it's the job, the long day, the pressure. And yeah, work is exhausting, but that's not why you're distant.
The reason is something most men never figure out, and it's costing your relationship more than you realize. The good news? You can fix it in 10 minutes, every single evening. Here's how.
Here's something most men have never been told. The version of you that survives the workplace, that navigates office politics, handles conflict, makes fast decisions under pressure, keeps everything together, that version of you is not you. It's a persona you built, deliberately, over years. Psychologists call it a professional identity layer. Think of it like armor you put on every morning before you walk into the building, or before you open your laptop if you work from home. Decisive, in control, emotionally contained, efficient. That armor is not a bad thing. In a boardroom, it keeps you sharp. In a negotiation, it keeps you grounded. It is genuinely useful, necessary even. But here's the problem. Most men never take it off. They wear it home, through the front door, to the dinner table, into bed. And armor, by design, keeps things out. Threats, yes, but also warmth, connection, vulnerability. The very things your relationship needs to stay alive.
Dr. John Gottman, who has spent over 4 decades studying couples and has a 94% accuracy rate predicting which relationships succeed and which ones fail, found that the quality of a couple's reunion at the end of a workday is one of the most reliable predictors of long-term relationship health.
Not grand gestures, not expensive holidays, the daily, ordinary moment when you walk back through the door. Most men treat that moment like a logistical transition. It's not. It's one of the most emotionally significant moments of your partner's day.
She's been waiting, not for information, not for you to be fixed, not for you to be impressive, just for you to actually show up. And when the armor stays on, she gets something that looks like you, but doesn't feel like you.
And over time, she stops expecting anything different. That's not peace. That's giving up. Let's talk about what happens in her nervous system when you come home still wearing the armor, because this part is important. Research on emotional availability in relationships shows that partners, particularly women in heterosexual relationships, are exquisitely sensitive to the emotional tone of the first few minutes of reunion. Not because they're needy, because human connection is built on emotional attunement, and your partner's nervous system is reading yours the moment you walk in. When you're still in work mode, jaw tight, eyes scanning your phone, giving one-word answers, her nervous system registers that as disconnection, not as he's tired, as disconnection, as absence, as I'm not a priority right now. She may not say it. She may not even fully consciously recognize it, but her body knows. And over enough evenings, that knowing accumulates. Psychologist Dr. Sue Johnson, founder of Emotionally Focused Therapy, describes this as an attachment injury, not a dramatic betrayal, but the slow erosion of the feeling that your partner is genuinely there for you. These small daily moments of emotional unavailability are what she found at the root of most relationship deterioration. Not affairs, not big arguments, repeated absences and small moments. And here's the part that will land uncomfortably. Your partner is not competing with your job. She stopped competing a long time ago. She's just quietly deciding, evening by evening, whether what you offer is enough.
That's the real cost. Not the argument that eventually happens, the quiet conclusion that comes before it. Now, here's why this isn't simply a matter of deciding to just be present, because if it were that simple, you'd already be doing it.
When you're in high-performance work mode, your body is running on cortisol and adrenaline, the stress hormones that keep you alert, reactive, and problem-solving. They're not a character flaw. They are your biology doing exactly what it was designed to do under pressure. The problem is that cortisol doesn't have an off switch at the front door.
Research from the American Psychological Association shows that cortisol levels can remain elevated for 20 to 40 minutes after a stressful event ends, even if the stressor is completely gone.
Your brain is still scanning for threats, still processing, still running. This means that the man who walks through the door at 6:30 p.m. is physiologically not the same man who will be sitting at the dinner table at 7 p.m. if he does the work to transition.
If he doesn't, that cortisol hangover colors everything. His patience is shorter, his listening is shallower, his face is less expressive. He withdraws without choosing to. And his partner, sitting across the table, experiences a man who is physically present and emotionally elsewhere.
Who responds to her questions with the minimum viable answer, who looks at his phone not because he doesn't care, but because his nervous system is still searching for resolution to problems that ended 3 hours ago. This is not a moral failure.
It is a physiological pattern that requires a deliberate interruption. Here's how to create one. This is not a routine, it's a threshold. A 10-minute window between the man who survives work and the man who shows up at home. Think of it as taking the armor off, piece by piece. Minute 1 to 2, the physical threshold. Before you go inside, or if you work from home, before you leave your workspace, do something physical that marks the boundary.
Change out of your work clothes, all the way. This is not a comfort preference. Research on embodied cognition shows that what we wear directly influences how we think and feel. The clothes you wore to be professional activate the professional identity.
Taking them off is a literal sensory signal to your nervous system. That context is closed. If you commute, sit in the car for 2 minutes before going inside. Not to scroll, not to check email, just sit. Hands off the wheel. The transition from car to home is not automatic. Treat it as intentional. Minute 3 to 5, the sensory reset. Wash your face with cold water. This is not a wellness cliche. Cold water activates the diving reflex, a parasympathetic nervous system response that slows your heart rate and shifts your body out of fight or flight mode in under 60 seconds.
If you have a decompression playlist, music that has no association with work, nothing you listen to while working, put it on for 2 minutes. Auditory environments carry emotional memory. The right music resets the context.
Minute 5 to 7, the brain dump. Take out your phone or a notepad and spend 90 seconds writing down every unfinished thought still circling in your head, every task that isn't done, every email that needs sending, every problem that isn't solved.
Write it down, not to solve it, to offload it. Your brain keeps recycling unfinished thoughts because it's afraid of losing them. Behavioral science calls this the Zeigarnik effect, the mind's tendency to fixate on incomplete tasks. Once something is written down, the brain releases it. It's safe now. Tomorrow's you can handle it. This one step, 90 seconds, has been shown in workplace productivity research to reduce intrusive thought frequency by up to 40% after work hours. Minute 7-9, one breath, one win. Before you engage, find one breath, a full exhale, longer than the inhale. This activates the vagus nerve and further drops cortisol. It's physiological. It works. Then, and this matters, identify one win from the day. Not to feel good about yourself, to give your brain closure. The prefrontal cortex, your rational, present-focused brain, operates best when it has a sense of resolution. Without one, it keeps searching for it through the evening. Give it one. A meeting that went well. A problem you solved. One sentence completed. Minute 9-10, the arrival. Now you go in. Or, if working from home, you leave the room, close the door, and re-enter the living space. The first 60 seconds of contact matter more than the next 4 hours of your evening.
Research from the Gottman Institute specifically highlights the importance of what they call the 6-second kiss and genuine physical acknowledgement at reunion, not a habit or a routine, but a moment of chosen presence.
Put the phone face down before you make contact. Make eye contact first. Say her name, not hey, her name. That single act, eye contact, her name, physical acknowledgement with no device in your hand, communicates something her nervous system has been waiting for all day.
I see you. I'm here. You are my priority right now. Once the armor is off, there is one final shift to make, and it's the one most men miss.
You've spent the day in fix-it mode, identifying problems, optimizing solutions, making decisions. That is the cognitive mode of the workplace, and you are good at it. Your partner does not need that mode. When she tells you about her day, about the colleague who frustrated her, about the conversation that didn't go how she hoped, your instinct will be to solve it, to provide the answer, to tell her what she should do.
Don't. She is not bringing you a problem to fix. She is bringing you herself to be witnessed. There is a significant difference. And confusing the two is one of the most common ways men accidentally push their partners further away while trying to help.
Gottman's research shows that in 69% of relationship conflicts, there is no solution. They are perpetual problems rooted in fundamental personality differences and ongoing life circumstances. The men who navigate relationships successfully are not the ones who solve those problems.
They are the ones who demonstrate consistently that they can sit with their partner inside the problem without trying to escape from it. The question to ask, instead of the advice to give, is this: do you want me to help you think through it, or do you just need me to listen right now?
That single question signals emotional intelligence. It tells her you understand that your role right now is not to be useful, it is to be present. And presence, delivered consistently and without agenda, is the most attractive thing a man can offer the person who chose to build a life with him.
The work doesn't end when you leave the office. In some ways, the most important work of your day starts the moment you walk through that door. Not the work of performance or productivity, the work of showing up, fully, deliberately, without the armor.
10 minutes. That's all it takes to bridge the gap between the man work needs and the man your relationship deserves. Your partner doesn't need you to be perfect. She doesn't need grand gestures or long speeches. She needs to feel, in the ordinary moments of an ordinary evening, that being with her is somewhere you actually want to be. The armor got you through the day. Now it's time to take it off.
If this landed for you, save it. Share it with someone who needs it. And if you want to go deeper on the habits that make men genuinely better partners, subscribe. This is what we're here for, the Better Man Project.